On. Not the clapping for me learning how to turn on a mic. Thank you though. Thanks, Shayla. Hi everyone. I hope you guys are having an amazing time. I know I am. Um, it feels like a really big honor to be here, and it's especially significant, I think, me coming at this time in the program because I know for me, Black History Month is all about not only thinking about my own life, but thinking about the community and thinking about my ancestors and the people that came before me. And for me, in the poems that I'll be reading today, I know we said we wouldn't do any introductions, but I feel like it's necessary. For the poems that I'll be reading today, I am acutely aware that I stand on the backs of so many other incredible Black artists and poets. So I'll be kind of trying to, in my own little way, tribute them and tribute the kind of poetic legacy that I am able to benefit from every single day. So I have a few poems that I'll be reading today. Um, and the first of which is something very different. I wrote this during 2020. We all remember that year, right? I'm seeing nods. And the conversation with police brutality. And for me, it became a really poignant discussion, thinking about my own life and thinking about the things that could possibly happen to me at any point on any day. So this is my poem, Dead Man. If he is asked tomorrow, he will say that his bruise is from a door. Or maybe it was a misplaced foot on a flight of stairs. He can't quite remember, but he knows he drifted off to sleep that night and dreamt of cotton white sheep leaping over him and back to their mothers. Not that he had to be carried to bed, or that he laughed so hard he woke the sun up, and he can't quite remember where the hole in his chest came from. That much is true, but he does remember that it did not hurt, and he did not dream of cotton white sheep that night. He dreamt of nothing. Kicking up his chest, kicking up his heartbeat, bursting him wide open to harvest whole this feeling. Thank you. This next poem is inspired by Langston Hughes' I Know Rivers. For those of us that don't know the poem, Langston finds, I want to say, a huge part of his identity in his surroundings. And so do I. And for me in particular, I find my roots in my community. And this poem is a tribute to all the Black queer folks who are my rock and my foundation and have taught me so much about myself. So this poem is called Community. I know trees. I know trees taller each time I see them, touching each other just a little more, as if laughing, as if to say, remember the mud? I know great trunks, when tickled by the right breeze, sing louder than any bird you've heard. You better applaud too. Their leaves are like curtains, branches twisting into high fives and low curtsies. I know shrubs, fuller each time I try passage. Machetes snap against their crown. Underneath bare leaves and old shoots, love is afforded to whomever they deem sickening enough. I befriended them all as a submerged garden, hose water beaten, forced to endure like rocks under a waterfall, and rooted they drank themselves above meniscus still. Ammunition and fuel became ammunition and fuel. See, I know trees. To hold is easy as long as it is unto each other. And my soul has grown deep like the forest. This next one is, I like how I'm explaining each and every one of them. I hope that doesn't get boring, but I hope the context is useful. And in this case, it's a poem inspired by Maya Angelou's The Mask. And in that poem, Maya's talking about all the different ways in which, kind of like what Sunday was saying, our identity is comprised of all of these different components and how scary that can be. And I know for me, as an immigrant, it's all about, for me, all the different faces that I feel like I have to be wearing in all these different subsects of my life and what it can mean like to fit in. And similarly to Sunday's beautiful, beautiful message, who are you and what lies at the core of all of those personalities and masks that we put on? And so this is my poem. It's called We Wear the Mask. I think I have lost it. I fumble. It is missing somewhere along the winding road leading to our land once promised. Should I turn around, retrieve it? Nakedness, they say, will have me turn back. See, I have been running, heaving, with it still on me for years now. And so I'm afraid that it has fallen off a very, very long time ago, and I am just now beginning to realize it is completely gone. Or worse, my sweat and pain has sealed the thing into the very cells of my skin, and that really I am still wearing it. And the final one is very, very, very recent. I've actually never performed this one. I finished it, let's say yesterday. It's in the Notes app. As we can see, we know what that means. Sheila's nodding, she gets it. So this poem is called Gardening in the Tropics. And it's inspired by, for those of you that don't know, I'm Jamaican, born and raised. And, right, yeah. Any Jamaican? Yeah. Okay, so born and raised, and Olive Senior is a Jamaican poet who inspires me constantly. And she has a book of poems called Garden in the Tropics that transformed my life and that allowed me to revisit my home in a new way and look at all the different ways in which poetry exists in every single pocket, in every single community, in every single inanimate thing. And I developed a completely new relationship with the place that I come from. And I'm hoping to share that perspective with you. So this is Gardening in the Tropics. Gardening in the tropics, you hear poetry in some unexpected places. The older tells his baby brother the mongrel was never his. Homeless and desperate, visiting the yard at dusk for trashed food. If love, baby brother, learn to let the animal leave. From my veranda, I hear him say, that is not love. At sunset, streets, bicycles halt, a chorus of goodbyes, dust and stone, and in the middle, a baby, almost forgotten until her little sisters rush back. I watch one wipe the tears, one sing an old song, one pull baby into her chest and lead the cooing huddle through the night, high-headed, knowing all four of them will be lashed on entry anyway. Subtraction is easy, tonight's lesson. carrying left to right. The small numbers will be all right. There's never not something to take. There's never not an answer. I am learning too. When I look up, the perspective is the sky and all her stars, as big as I am and as small as they are. Thank you. Thank you so much. I've been Matthew. If you're not sick of my voice yet, my debut novel, Until We Break, is also being sold upstairs. So thank you so much, and have an amazing evening.